Okay, let's talk a little bit about the book concept for the Code of Funk. A lot of people have asked about, the idea of it. How did it come about? A number of people that I've talked to, they're kind of like mystified by the technology, but it's really, really very simple. It's a book, of course, with transcriptions from a Tower Power recording, very simple. And then there are three CDs, one CD, two DVD-ROMs in the book. The DVD-ROMs are not DVDs. They are DVD-ROMs which have computer information on them. And the audio CD basically is the music tracks minus drums. So you're getting vocals, all of that stuff, minus drums. The DVD-ROMs, they have the loops and the multi-track stems. The loops allow you to use GarageBand on the Mac format or Acid Express on the PC format. The multi-track stems are used with higher-end music editing software. Okay, so when you use those multi-track stems, you're able to assemble the complete performance, the complete track minus drums without any vocals. So you have instrumental version of the tunes. Now, for our purposes here, we're going to look at the loops. They're very, very simple. I know a lot of my friends, they don't like to read manuals. Are you one of those out there that doesn't like to read a manual? Well, this is so simple, there really isn't any manual. You don't even have to worry about that. It's basically as simple as just clicking on, you go into the little folder that's in one of the DVD-ROMs, and you'll see Code of Funk loops. And there are Apple loops or whatever, and then there's the PC side. I'm using a Macintosh here, so we'll talk about that. Basically, you're just going to double click on the file, it's going to open in GarageBand, and that's pretty much it. That's a one-man operation right there. You don't need to have a manual for that, so it's very, very simple. Now, I have a file open here, I have page 1, and this is the verse loop to page 1, all right? Now, you'll notice on the left-hand side of the screen here there's a menu called Tracks, and you'll see bass drum, snare drum, hi-hats and toms, overheads. These are the drum tracks, okay? That's where you can listen and solo the drums. The music mix is a stereo music track, and that stereo music track is what you're going to be playing to when you mute the drums. So let's turn on this loop. Now I'm going to mute the bass drum. I'm going to mute the snare drum. I'm going to mute the hats and the tom. And I'm going to mute the overheads. There's your music track. So you add back the drums into the mix. There's the complete drum track. Let's mute the music mix. So there I am. All of you samplers out there, all you people that want to record some drums, make some loops, there you go. There's a loop already made for you. Very simple. You'll notice down here in this LED screen in the bottom, you'll see some numbers. You can go up to the control menu that says Show Tempo in LCD. This loop is at 110 beats per minute. So what we're going to do now is open that little menu, and you'll see a metronome, and you can change the tempo. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's loop this, get this drum loop going, and we'll fool around with the tempo. Here we go. Obviously, if you slow it down too much, it's not going to sound great. This is down to, there's 86. Not bad. It's pretty good. These loops were put together by Tony Verderosa. Fantastic drummer, programmer. He did a fabulous job with this. Okay, so there's 86. So basically, here's 191. What did that sound like? Jojo Meyer, Eat Your Heart Out. It's pretty good. All right, so you see that the quality of the loop doesn't degenerate too much when it's too fast or too slow. And that's basically it. Years and years ago, when I started doing these videos and things, I was always interested in doing a project like this where you could play along with a band. And more specifically, when I came back into the Tower of Power, I wanted to be able, and even before I came back in '98, I wanted to do some kind of project where it was Tower Power music. And this was the perfect vehicle for it. Excellently produced studio tracks and very easy to play along with. The sound is fabulous. Everything's, been remixed so that it works perfectly if you want to play along with the loops. Every song has 2 or 3 loops that are associated with it. So you have verse, chorus, maybe an out chorus, but all of the important parts of the song so that you can practice, the component loops that go with the particular songs, or you can use any other materials. I have Future Sounds. We worked on some of those things in some of the lessons that we filmed. And so all of that stuff works in there. There's the funky beat. That's another one of my books. You can use any of the grooves and things from there. Any of your own things that you like, any other people's books that you're working out of, try it with some of those loops. Experiment with tempo, and it's very, very simple. So don't be intimidated by the technology. I think it's a fabulous technology that allows you, kind of enhances your learning experience and allows you to, take these things to another level that maybe you'd not experienced before in your practicing and your playing. Okay, so there it is. That kind of explains the code of funk.